What's going on? BLKICE Chronicles Massive Crazy Dee here at the Akron Hip Hop Showcase. We're gonna go to Lock 3, the live stage, and see all the performers. MC Lyte is here. So we're gonna go out there and see what's going on, get up on the stage, get some interviews with the keepers of the art incorporated, the ones that put this event on. So we're in downtown Akron at the Lock 3 stage. Live performances are going down for the Akron Hip Hop Showcase.
Crazy. How you doing, my man? Yes, sir. What's up?
All right, here we are, BLKICE Chronicles Massive. We're getting ready to raise the wall, the graffiti wall.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
Hey, put your legs.
Strength and togetherness.
United together.
So, where does the wall go?
We always try to sell it, but it's been a little bit of problems last year to get rid of it. So it needs a good home, you know.
And how can they contact you?
If you're interested in buying this work, a piece of work by Webs tonight, just contact me, Bayshawn with Keepers of the Art at 330-368-8748.
All right.
That's it.
Wow.
This piece is called Positively Cleveland. It was inspired by my city, which I said earlier, I have a strong love for my city. Inspiration brought on by a dying city, financially and spiritually speaking. Going back through the history books of my city, I see that at one point we were a thriving cluster of communities, filled with culture, camaraderie, and hard work, beauty and brawn to boot. But lately I've seen division, hateration, and elevated rates of evacuation, taking away the last remaining heartbeats of my beautiful city, once filled with so much life. Like a dying old man, each breath one step closer to his last. But me, I feel like I'm the Cleveland Clinic, ready, willing, able, well-known, and trusted by reputation to revive this dying man. Old age is no excuse for my city, founded in 1796 to kick the bucket. With age comes wisdom, experience, education, and strength to bring up a new generation. As a young black woman, born and raised by a young black woman in Cleveland, in me was instilled work ethic. As a town known for manufacturing, hard work is in my blood. A woman in a skirt and a hard hat, a lady in Timberland boots clutching a Coach bag. My city was once a city of champions, being named All-American City 5 times. Indians, Browns, Cavs, pennants, World Series, NFL championships, loyal fans and excitement. Cleveland, rock and roll, the plain dealer, the alien American, a black newspaper, Carl B. Stokes, first black mayor of a major U.S. city, George Peake, the first African American settler in Lakewood. Oh yes, black history is strong in Cleveland, as well as Puerto Rican, Hungarian, Ukrainian, Italian, Greek, dig deep, seek, and ye shall find. It takes more than a phenom wearing 23 to bring back my city. We need to think positively, and an ounce of that positivity has resurrected the Cleveland in me. Who's with me?
Hey!
You know what's hot? You know, that's about our hometown of Cleveland.
You can't speak for another man, but do those artists who are doing the cookie cutter and style of music, do they realize that they're doing it, or do they think that that's their free expression and they're putting it across because it's my hood.
Mm-hmm.
It's how I came up. Each generation has to allow their youth, the young within that generation, to say, I'm cold. I've got that male bravado. I'm the coldest. How many of them realize, or do they realize, or they think that it's their freedom of expression?
Some may actually feel like it's freedom of expression. You're right. This is where I come from. This is what I've gone through. But once again, the problem is when it's only one message, when it's only one image that you're putting out there. That's the problem. So therefore, you have a kid who is on the cusp, and he thinks that if this is the only image I see, this is what I have to portray and this is what I have to be. So therefore, using platforms like the annual Hip Hop Showcase, we put out different images. We give them a healthier alternative. So, true enough, we all have our own stories and we've all been through things, but what about the flip side? And that's what got lost. So that's why we use this platform to put a healthy, positive alternative out there. So not just kids, but adults as well can grasp back onto what, like you said, back in the day, what really inspired you. So we've gotten away from it.
I try to get to when I ask my questions, I try to get to the root of it, to get deeper than just the surface. Sure. Get deep, right? Don't people of a certain age, don't the 14s to 21s get the opportunity to express themselves the way they want to be. They want to express. When NWA came out and they told the stories, and Ice Cube pretty much gave the instructions on certain things. He said he wouldn't rap it now, but of course it's hindsight, it's 2020, right? But he said this is what a B is. You know what I'm saying? This is how you don't get played. Right. And these were the first people who came out with, and
absolutely
the ghetto boys.
Right.
Get ghetto. How much of that is it? Aren't they allowed, or is it because hip hop has been along so like Chris said, in 30 years, then we'll be the old school artists? Is it that hip hop has been around and we believe that it should be able to progress because it had that infantile stage where people said what they wanted to say? Or should the youth be allowed to express that, and won't they come from out of that like Ice Cube's did?
Right. Well, you know what? Absolutely. I do believe in freedom of speech and an opportunity and ability to really express yourself. But the problem comes when so many are expressing themselves and none of them really come out of it. See, back in the day, you had your Ice Cubes and Ghetto Boys that expressed themselves and they were able to come out of it, okay? Nowadays, kids aren't coming out of it. They're rapping one way today and they have to live their lifestyle tomorrow, so they end up getting killed, locked up, whatever the case is, and they never come out of that. So yeah, that freedom of expression and that First Amendment right, that freedom of speech, has gotten a lot of individuals not just in trouble, but killed as well. So with that, I do believe that you can and you should, but once again, you have to be very, very smart and wise about it.
When I look at the magazine, all I see is these white women, light-skinned women, long hair, blue eyes, maybe even hazel.
As a Negro, I watched my children lynched and raped.
But I refuse to deny all my other cultures too. I did that once and I was lost. Because people always attacking, going, what are you? And then the moment you tell them what you are, the first thing they say is, but you still black. I never said I wasn't. You asked me where my family came from. You asked to understand how, in your minds, fuck heredity, how I ended up being that light, or how my hair ended up looking like that, or various other things. I never said anything. You guys took it upon yourselves to add to the words I never used in a conversation I didn't start for something I don't believe in. I mean, seriously,
Well, the whole thing,
I think you guys give too much power to the mentality of race.
Well, we're into this. Black is Beautiful. It's Black Ice, if I'm not mistaken. That's the cover of it. And we have a light-skinned, very light-skinned person in the lead, and I don't understand that. If it's Black Ice and I'm naughty, Black Ice in the photo shoot.
Okay, now when you say Black Ice, isn't black just a color? It's not. I mean, it's light skin, but isn't she still black though?
We're trying to promote this Black is Beautiful when most of the leads are going to these light complexion women. When you look at
Is it? Shouldn't we have variety though?
Yeah, we should, but why am I the one dark one? You see what I'm saying?
Tell them who you are.
What's up?
Tell them what they're gonna hear right now.
Okay, my name is Asheru. You about to hear the black experience through hip hop. That's what I'm about to do right now.
Tell them where they can always hear you.
You can always hear me if you go to ReverbNation.com/Asheru. You can get all my newest stuff. I'm putting it up there for free. And check me on Twitter @Asheru.com. And then our organization, Guerrilla Arts, go to WeTheWilling.org.
And tell them where they hear you all the time.
Oh, you hear me all the time. You hear me all the time on the Boondocks cartoon. I do the theme song, the intro for the show. Also wrote a lot of songs for the first season. And I co-wrote the MLK episode, the speech that he gives at the end.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that came from a song of mine called Niggas. And,
Oh, really?
So,
So
yeah,
you
we won
wrote
a
the part
Peabody
where he
Award.
said, you
He said, niggas are living contradictions. Niggas stick to their convictions. Niggas wax and wane. Niggas love to complain. Niggas love to hear themselves talk, but hate to explain, all of that.
And then you wrote the
came
part
from
where he
song.
said, "Now I'm moving to Canada."
No, that was Aaron McGrew. That was the first time that a cartoonist and a hip hop artist ever won a Peabody Award for journalism. So that was a big deal, man. And it was for that particular episode.
BLKICE Chronicles.
So anybody ever heard the term chasing the dragon? Yeah. You heard what that mean?
Heroin.
Yes. Getting high. I didn't know that. When all the power in LA went out, my girlfriend, me and about 5 of my friends are sitting out in the living room. She keep running up the stairs, downstairs, up the stairs, downstairs, up the stairs, downstairs. I'm trying to play it off because all my friends knew she was a crackhead. I didn't know. I did not know. She up the stairs, downstairs. I'm trying to play it off. I say, honey, what you doing? She said, I'm chasing a dragon. I said, well, catch it and sit down, bitch. You keep. I should have knew she was a crackhead too, because she kept asking crack questions. No lights in the whole block. And she, you got a lighter? I need a lighter. Anybody a lighter? A lighter. I said, well, what you need a lighter for? To light the candles. Well, can't you use a match? Apparently not, because they go out too quick. But anyway, I gave her a lighter, and she kept running up the stairs. And about 10 minutes later, I keep hearing the lighter flicking, just. So my friends, they must have wanted me to catch it. They said, well, why don't you go upstairs and help her with that candle? So I started walking upstairs, and I didn't know. I thought it was some kind of trick candle. I said, well, the bitch been trying to light it for 10 minutes, and the motherfucker keep going out. So I opened up the door, man, and she's sitting on the bed smoking crack. But I was naive because I had never seen nobody smoke crack. I've heard of it. I'd never seen nobody. So I didn't know what she was doing. I say, honey, what are you doing? She said, I'm talking on the telephone. I said, well, put the fire out, bitch. I ain't in the phone smoking.
No black church I know should allow themselves to be pimped by a politician who don't even believe in the word, but just shows up on a Sunday in October to tell you what they believe when they couldn't show up in September, in March, in May, in June, or July to speak to why do the kids in your church not have scholarships to college, and why do their schools look the way they do, and why do you not have jobs? If the church is going to operate within the mobilization of individuals to the polls, they've got to understand that it's not about politics. It's about life. And the word that I believe in puts me in a position to be able to use theology to speak to the reality of every situation, not just those that deal with church. If you can't affect anything but the power within the four walls of the church, you crazy. I'm sorry, baby. It's okay. It's okay. I'll lower my voice. It's all right. I have the faith in us that in this city of Cleveland, that we can challenge our own pastors and challenge our own churches to figure out what we as a congregation want to change. Do we want to change the schools? Do we want to change access to opportunity? Do we want to change how many young people continue to go to jail? Well, that happens when people of faith believe in the God that they praise enough to get beyond a level of comfort to go places where others won't go. Because if you think our young people are crazy because it's some accident and it comes through the music they listen to, they not. Raise a child in the way that he should go so that when he grows old, he won't depart from it. Look in the mirror, people, they crazy because we crazy.
Oh, what's going on? What you looking for today?
Hi, I'm Stacy.
Googly, that is my pet peeve. She's up here touching me. That's a no-no. Automatically, I see that the chick is a little bit weird, but she's definitely strange putting her hands on me. That's the #1 rule. Don't put your hands, I don't touch you, don't touch me. Never touch the Grand Imperial Leader. Let's see what happens next.
I'm interested in modeling.
Oh, you want to model? But first, I never touch any of the models that I'm going to shoot because them and I are going to make some awesome artistic nudes, and just don't need to get it twisted.
All business, huh? That's good.
Yeah, I'm all business.
So when can we shoot? I have my different outfits in the car.
Now I know something's not right now. Pushing me all up against the door. Putting her hands on me. Ooh, that's my pet peeve. You know, she's not a bad looking person. Matter of fact, she's built real good, but she's too anxious to want to model. If I didn't know any better, I would think that Big Pimpin' had something to do with this. But let's see how this plays out. Okay. I'll tell you what. Why don't I take down your information and give you a call when I'm ready to conduct my next photo shoot. Okay?
He didn't go for it. I really wanted to work with him, but he just didn't seem interested in photographing me.
Check, check, check. Yo, I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. The spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in your gun, the inner glow that let you know to call your brother's son. Story that just begun. Promise of what's to come, and I'ma remain a soldier till the war is won. Streak to see your draws. Think of the pain. Wanna come out your flaws. The thing you don't wanna claim. How to joy your baby boy, your inner child's toy, your saving grace. Winner of the race to be born. New age scholar with millennium mind state. Master of education, doctoral candidate. And no, that ain't an analogy of me through rap. That's a true that. Like a real, the probability judo flip. The chop, chop, chop. Judo flip. Yo, a beautiful mind, one of a kind, being king. Ash, baby boy of the all. I see it in all. I'm seeing is the future so bright. You won't ask steady, get the rest to turn off the light. I am the general, so just know my position. Quiet leadership stop. I speak, it's non-fiction. Listen more than I talk, tell less than I know. This game is to be sold, untold, that's how I go. It's called guerrilla arts, detecting not the animal by any means necessary. Written on the manual, rough you off. Rattle through just like Hannibal, the elephant starve the shit out of you in your hands. If you take it for a joke, get your egg on your face, think it's going for broke. With each quote, no second place for anybody. So ask, get an ass, you spit, hit a win, they play game, it's like shit. Check, 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 check. It's soul music, it's soul music, ha, and you don't understand. Hey, and you don't understand, stand, and you don't understand. Check, check. Tell them, and you don't understand, I am hip-hop, and everything I do, I breathe bebop. I am rock and roll, a child of blues and soul, so fluidly, yes, I'm just doing me, and you don't understand, it's my everyday, the way I think, dress, and act, it's the things I say, this ain't pop or top 40, it's hip-hop shorty, so fluidly, yes, I'm just doing me. Check, check, check. Make magic, this joint, check, check. I make magic, hey, I make magic, hey, I make magic. Hey yo, classroom, the boardroom, avoid the courtroom. Black life is real, man, this is not a cartoon. We feel like a tiger in a zoo. We should mount the wood, try to take from me and mine like a could. Wipe the rust off before I bust off. Bearers up, they stakes around, get dust off like buffet plates. This is food for the soul. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a cup of beer. It'll only take a couple years for some to really get it. And keep it so Robin Hood, get it from the Confederates and go for the gold. Using formulas untold to break from the mold. Give you a piece of my soul. The way I do it is too cold. No such thing as too old. Baby, I'm just like my father, too bold, and at the same time, I'm never satisfied. Guess I get it from my mama. She ain't memorized. Make moves and make money. Personally, I make. It ain't a damn thing funny.
Run the sound check. Last sound check of the day before we get the show started is my man Asheru. You know, Asheru is the voice of the Boondocks. Anytime you heard the theme music and the rap come on at the beginning of Boondocks, that's the man you hear it. He also wrote other parts of the comic series that you see on TV. We're doing the last sound check with my man to make sure the tracks are level. We're about to get the show started. 2011, 4th annual, 4 times in a row, 4th annual. Hip Hop Showcase, Lot 3, Akron, Ohio. Hip Hop is worldwide, but it's Akron, Ohio today, baby.
Now dig it, baby. They say pussy cheaper than chicken. You can get 12 pieces for $1 dime. Now I want you to go in there and change the game. You know what to do. Get to it.
How you doing today? What can I do for you?
Nothing you can do for me, but let me see this cassette.
Oh, here we go. Another live one. Which cassette would you like to see?
I want to see that. That one right there. The one right by my knee.
Why would this chick disrespect herself like that? She can't be no more than 19 to 20 years old. But on second thought, this broad could be a setup chick. I gotta keep my eyes on her. I have it right down here. That'll be 1076. Dirty ass toe.
Look, mister, you got a bathroom I can use?
I don't have a restroom.
You ain't got no bathroom. Huh? How do you relieve yourself?
Let me rephrase. I don't have a public for people to use.
Look, man, you just saw something real good down there. Now, I'm not used to...
You're not used to what?
Niggas looking at my good shit without paying. So you better make it worthwhile. Cause you gon' pay.
Hey, what, slut?
Pay me!
That was a rhetorical question. It doesn't need an answer because both you and me know by now that ain't nobody on this end gonna pay for your nasty, funky snatch.
Who the fuck you talking to?
I'm talking to the slut before me. The one that makes a living getting on her knees. The one that has a smell that's sour, that's burning my nasal hairs, which means you be burning my...
Nigga, fuck you.
No, fuck you, bitch. And get the fuck out of my store and don't you ever...
What's going on here?
This motherfucker that lost his mind. Baby, he caught me all kind of bitches at home.
Well, bitch, you're used to it by now. Go wait in the car. ¿Qué le pasa con su cerebro? Porque dice muchas veces, despierta en el coche para mí. 5 soles que despierta en el coche. 5 soles, despierta. Vámonos. Despierta yo. Vámonos. Despierta.
What am I looking at here? A Spanish big pimpin'?
I grew up in Brooklyn, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with Brooklyn, but they have a huge West Indian community. So when people ask me, am I West Indian? I say no, but I was raised by West Indians. I was one of 2 American families on my block, and the rest were Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Bajans, Bahamians, Puerto Ricans, like you name it, it was a melting pot for sure. And there, growing up with my mom, I got a chance to hear the music that would, to date, change my life in terms of genres of music that I listened to, because hip-hop came later for me. I listened to a lot of easy listening. Do we know what that is? Yeah. Karen Carpenter and Dionne Warwick. And these were the songs that my mother played. So Raindrops Keep Falling on Your Head and Barry Manilow, that was just like some regular music that happened in that household. And I love her for opening my ears to that music. And then during the weekends, I would go out to Far Rockaway where my uncle lived. And there is where I was able to hear D-Train and Tina Marie and Rick James and Diana Ross and Donna Summer and all of those songs that, you know, I would later tap into and actually have producers sample those songs, like a Toto that gave me Poor Georgie. And some of the samples that were even laid on top of Poor Georgie were Diana Ross and the Jacksons. And then later using Liberian Girl from Michael Jackson for Keep On Keeping On. Like those were all songs. Like I remember seeing Michael Jackson's Off the Wall and Thriller albums at my uncle's house. It's a fixture. And at my mom's place, it was Al Green. Like I remember that picture. And as I began to look at Rakim, I always used to think of the similarities for some reason between Rakim's like style and the young Al Green. I don't know if you remember that record where he has that jacket on and the collar is pulled up and he's just looking fly. I always think of Rakim when I look at that to this day. But so there is where Brooklyn, I get the reggae. In my mom's house, I get the easy listening. I get Neil Diamond and all that wild stuff that when I sing along to it in the supermarket, everybody's looking at me like, how the hell do you know that song? And it's because of that. And then you go to Rockaway and I get, you know, that real soul, the OJs, I always love my mama. And then it was Spanish Harlem, where my grandmother lives, where I got into hip hop music. I had older cousins that would allow me to play the records. So there is where I heard Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, Funky 4+1 More, which had Sha-Rock. Does this sound familiar to you? Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Well, I'm talking to an educated crowd here. When it comes to music, this is like my life, obviously. So in any case, I was allowed to play those records. But it was one particular day when I was in Rockaway on the 3rd floor in Hamels Projects, and I could hear somebody playing a boombox below, and the lyrics, which I learned later, were I came in the door, I said it before, never let the mic magnetize me, the mobile is fighting me, inviting me to rhyme. I can't hold it back, I'm looking for the line, take it off my head. I was like, oh my God, what is that? So by the time I got in the stairwell, ran down the steps, and got to the boombox, it was Salt and Pepper. It was these female voices coming out of the box, and I was like, who is that? And it was a song called Showstoppers. Because obviously, Fred, that means you're right. We had a battle about when the show for Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick came out. And if that was like 82-ish, and Salt and Pepper was singing Showstoppers, they had the answer to a record called The Show. So, okay, you got me on that one.
I'm a little older than you, so it's easy.
Yeah, it's ingrained, I guess. So in any case, I heard Salt and Pepper, and that was the day I realized that I could do it too, and actually believed it. And at that point, I made it my business in school to be wherever the music was happening. So if in the cafeteria some people were banging on some desks, I had to be right there. And I remember befriended a guy named Eric. Eric Cole is his name. And he would write my rhymes for me. So at lunchtime, I would say all of the stuff that he prepared. And then one day, I said to him, you know what, I think I want to write my own rhymes. And he said, I think you should. And he was extremely supportive. And through him, I wound up being a part of a group. And this group is called Pure Elegance. Yeah, and there you chuckle out of that one. And my name, my MC name, she said, uh-oh. Uh-oh. It was Sparkle. Oh. Yeah.